it. The valley that we're perched above, it's beautiful, and the San Francisco peaks, which some of us call Kachina peaks, are still covered with snow. In the old days, the Hopi and the Navajo used to call it the Shining Mountain, and today you can see why. Everything's greening up, and yet the mountain is shining white. It's really beautiful. So, we're back. This is just a 1-hour session. We're going to do some meditation. I want to say a word about why. Meditation doesn't have to have a purpose. One can simply meditate in order to experience simply relaxing, calming, recalibrating. But in my mind, actually I hardly use the word meditation anymore, as some of you know, because I don't really know what it means. I'm not sure I ever knew what it meant, really. But anyway, tonight I'm using it because I'm going to give you a specific form of practice that we call a meditation, which probably most of you already have, and everybody gives it slightly differently. So I have a way of giving it that I enjoy, and that I hope you will enjoy too. But the reason for bringing a meditation practice in at this point is to make a bridge from talking about Bardo in Pandemia to the inner practices that help us live, as I spoke of earlier today, near the end of the afternoon, that the teachings about the Bardo are referring always to the ultimate, as you undoubtedly were aware, as I spoke a great deal about the ultimate state. And our work here in existence is to stabilize and strengthen and refine our ability to be in the world of appearances, holding the view of the absolute, holding the view of the ultimate, which is that from which all appearances arise, or within which, I'm not sure what the right turn of phrase there would be for me tonight at this point, but appearances are not separable from the ultimate. What manifests is not straying from its true nature ever. So, in this sense, a meditative discipline, when we're speaking in this way, a meditative discipline becomes the means by which we are enabled through gradual practice to sit here in our existential condition and gradually learn to not do that which keeps us in that condition, but that instead of doing that which we've always been doing, we abstain, essentially, gently not doing, nothing wrenching, nothing forced, but we gently not do. And the learning of that is really quite a discipline and a joyous one. It's not always easy, but it's very simple. We just don't pick up the invitation to continue to recreate the world meaning ourselves. And so a meditation discipline that allows us gradually to train in that way brings us into the moment that I spoke of earlier today as a moment of being at choice, when we learn to recognize the mind's movements and its condition and its contents in motion. We are in a position to discern karmic cause. I will speak more about this tomorrow, but I just want to make this bridge tonight. So what I want to give you this evening, first a period of contemplation, then a period of meditation, and then some guidelines for how to go to sleep. Since the day is spent with guidelines for how to wake up, we will balance nicely at the end of the day with guidelines for how to go to sleep. So the first thing I want to invite is a moment of contemplation, an extended moment of contemplation, but everything is just a moment, in which you reflect on what you heard and experienced, received and understood, and resonated with, or found yourself confused by or concerned about in this morning's teachings. And to be gently with your own mind, recalling what we spoke about this morning, and letting your mind just sift gently and aimlessly. This is really just an invitation to allow your mind to reconnect with what transpired this morning and contemplate any words that might have been helpful or confusing, any concepts that opened something up for you, anything that you want to take forward into your life as a practitioner, as a student, as a bodhisattva on the path. In other words, revisit the morning in your mind of right now. Not trying to get back there, but in your mind of right now, right here, remember or reconnect with not necessarily the specific contents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but what the experience is in you now of what we did this morning. And I'm going to give one sound of the gong to bring us into that contemplative moment, and I'll bring 2 gong sounds to bring us out of it. And also would like to just suggest if you want to have a pad of paper next to you, you could, if it's handy and easy and you don't have to disturb yourself too much to go and get it. You may have some things you'd like to write down. But for now, just think of this as an extended moment of contemplation, okay? I wanted to say any questions, but I guess I won't. So, Thank you. So, now one of the documents that was on the website for you to be able to download if you wanted, actually two that we're going to do this evening. One is called Calm Abiding Meditation, taking breath and natural mind as support. And the other one is called A Sacred Frame for Your Day, and it gives the practice upon awaking and the practice before sleeping. So let's start with the Calm Abiding Meditation. I think of this as a practice of clarity and flexibility or pliancy and stabilizing. In this particular calm abiding practice, we're first using the breath as a support for our contemplation and our reflection. And we are then using the natural mind. Our natural mind, just as it is, becomes the main support for our meditation. So it's a gradual process of familiarizing ourselves with an inward attention that is required for all higher practices, and it's the one that I referred to earlier today as an attention, a faculty of mind, that's a faculty of the luminosity mind that is natural to us and that we are using all the time. We're just not conscious of it necessarily, and we don't know necessarily how to invoke it intentionally. But it is ours, it's our natural ability, it is our natural mind, so we can learn how to really reap its gifts, which are immense. So I'm going to read the instructions as they're given in the document that is available for you. And just as I read it, please follow the instruction given in that particular section. I'm not going to read and then elaborate. I'm going to just give you the practice right from the beginning and move us through step by step. So you don't have to do anything except listen, and you don't need to take a look at the paper. If you have it in front of you, you can just put it aside. Just to be receptive, this is a practice that's an invitation. It's an invitation for us to be relaxing. The two final paramitas in the series of 6 paramita practices, perfection practices, are meditative concentration and wisdom. Wisdom meaning the wisdom of emptiness that sees the nature of reality unadorned, directly, nakedly. And the concentration paramita is usually referred to as meditative concentration. And I call them relaxing and recognizing, because we're not going to recognize the true nature of the mind. If we're in a state of tension, relaxation is required. And there are some forms of meditation that in which we generate a certain creative tension. But when we're doing calm abiding practice to let ourselves learn how to accept the invitation to relax in body, speech, and mind, it is definitely not to generate tension. It is to allow us to begin to experience, and for even people who are very experienced in meditative practice, this is often the way they begin their more advanced or complex practices, with a little bit of calm abiding meditation. So it's the basic practice, not in the sense of, oh, I'm just a beginner, I must do the basic practice, but in the sense of this is the basis for practice going forward. And it acquaints you with your mind, both your mind that skitters and jumps around, and your mind that never moves at all. and to learn to see them both in equanimity. So please enjoy, just relax. First, take refuge in the three jewels and generate great love and compassion for all beings. Just in your mind, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha 3 times. Take refuge in the three jewels. And then move into the altruistic mind generation. Think with great love and compassion of all beings. And if you can't imagine all beings, think with great love and compassion of a being or some beings for whom you do know very, very well, easily and without reserve, great love and compassion. Think of those beings and bring your love and compassion up to a strong warmth on the scale of cold to blazing. Go for ardent aspiration. Let's say that's a 7. And when you bring your meditation on love and compassion up to a level 7, for those you already love and have compassion for, then just radiate out from that point that same ardent aspiration that all beings be free of suffering, that all beings be happy. And do it as a positive warmth. This is the first of what is called the 3 excellences, excellent in the beginning. Now, refresh your body and mind with 3 cleansing breaths. On the out-breath, release the stale airs, and then simply relax into a natural breathing cycle. As you release the stale airs from within, give a little bit of a push to the exhale so that you are really bringing all the staleness onto the out-breath and pushing it a little, not in a tense way, but just in I will breathe out all the way. Oh, I can breathe a little further. All right, let me take it a little further. And then simply relax at the end of that out-breath, each time of 3. So refresh your body and mind with 3 cleansing breaths. On the out-breath, release the stale airs, and then simply relax into a natural breathing cycle. Now settle your body in an easy, natural posture. Spine erect and flexible. Head and neck relaxed, like a flower on its stem. Legs in a position that allows you to be both stable and relaxed. Arms and hands resting lightly on thighs, or hands resting lightly together, unclasped. And this next point is particularly important. Your eyes are half open. This is not a meditation where you close your eyes. Eyes half open, gazing softly into the space in front. And mouth relaxed, tongue resting lightly on the upper palate. These are two preparation practices, the cleansing breaths and the posture. They are important to the clarity, ease, and stability of meditation, and it's really quite wise to include them in all your practices at the very beginning. Continuing to breathe in that easy way, and aware of the stability and ease of your posture. Flexibility still in the body's free to move with the breath. So we've already begun the meditation with the body and the breath. And the meditation continues to flow with the breath, breathing in and out, naturally and easily, attention lightly on the out-breath, as light as a feather touching a bubble. So you don't need to pay any attention whatsoever to the in-breath. When the attention is on the out-breath becomes deep and full, and when the out-breath is full and goes all the way out, the body will naturally take the in-breath. You will not have to do that. The body does it for you. So the meditation continues to flow with the breath, breathing in and out naturally and easily, attention lightly on the out-breath, as light as a feather touching a bubble. Between the end of one out-breath and the beginning of a new in-breath, simply relax, resting in the open space between the breaths. We don't, in fact, breathe out and in like that. We tend to breathe out, and then there's a space, and then there's an in-breath. And then there's a space, and then there's an out-breath. So rest in the open space between breaths. When a thought, emotion, memory, or image arises, As soon as you become aware of that, simply relax. So any arising in the mind, the instant you become aware of that, simply relax. This is the not doing. As that arising dissolves, which it will if you don't touch it or engage with it in any way, rest lightly in the openness between that thought and the next one. When a thought, emotion, memory, or image arises, as soon as you become aware of it, simply relax. And as it dissolves, rest lightly in the openness between that thought and the next one, allowing the mind simply to settle in its natural state. Allowing the mind simply to settle in its natural state, maintaining an easy, relaxed awareness of everything within and all around, and the gaze continues to be with the eyes half open. When a thought, emotion, memory, or image arises, become aware of it and simply relax. It will naturally dissolve. Rest lightly in the openness between thoughts as the mind settles in its natural state with an easy, relaxed awareness of everything within and all around. There is no point to this meditation. There is just the practice, the invitation. Breathe, observe, relax. Rest in the open space. Relax. Just be. Calmly abide. Continue in this way for the time you've set aside for your meditation or for however long you wish to sit. And when first beginning this practice, you may find it helpful to divide your sitting session into short periods of maybe 5 to 10 minutes each, resting in the openness between those little mini sessions. Rest in the open space, relax, just be, calmly abide. Meditation is the second of the three excellences, excellent in the middle, meditating with no fixation to the illusory solidity of appearance or experience. And let the transitions between meditating and not meditating be soft, gentle, gradual, both in beginning and in ending. Soft, gentle, gradual transitions between what you think of as meditating and what you think of as not meditating. And as you close your meditation, look up, gaze softly around, move your body gently, and softly, gradually, quietly resume your normal attention, still relaxed in natural awareness. And when we're doing a formal meditation session with this kind of practice, we end by dedicating the merit of our practice and reciting prayers of aspiration and auspiciousness and so on, including supplications to our lamas to remain for a long time in the world with us. And this is the third of the three excellences, excellent at the end, dedicating to the enlightenment of all the merit of our virtuous activities. So this is a very brief taste of calm abiding meditation, taking breath and natural mind as support. And tomorrow morning in the meditation session, I invite you to do this practice. As much as you remember of it, if you don't have the document, if you do have the document, you can refer to it. Or you can also, I guess, go on YouTube and take a look, right? So take a little break and just move around a little bit. Open up your body. This was really a taste, not an extended meal. But it's a good taste to have at the end of the day. So, as we are at the end of the day, we're going to look at this other document that I put up for you on the web. It's called A Sacred Frame for Your Day. There is a practice upon awaking and a practice before sleeping. So I'll just read to you the practice upon awaking, because you'll be doing that tomorrow if you can and wish to. These are instructions adapted from retreat instructions given by Garchen Rinpoche, but adapted to having more general application. So the practice upon awaking is to contemplate birth. Slowly and gently acknowledge waking consciousness as it coalesces and emerges from the sleep state. Recognize, I am alive. Give thanks and offer all actions of body, speech, and mind on this day for the benefit of all. And each time you awake, dedicate your awakening to the awakening of all. It's so natural, it's unself-conscious, it's just a natural way to wake up. The practice before sleeping, and this I hope that some of you will decide you want to do this evening. The first element in the practice before sleeping is to contemplate karma. Karma are simply, simply words that mean cause and consequence. But this is a wonderful practice. It can sometimes be called repatterning. It's the opportunity to see and clear the karmic slate. It's very strong, particularly if done on a regular basis. And I initially received this practice from Venerable Dahani Oahu, also known as Pema Sangzin Khandro. She's a Western yogini who was my first teacher on the formal path in this lifetime. So, contemplate karma, sitting upright, review the day. This is, you're sitting upright, you're not lying down yet in your bed. This review can take a couple of seconds or as long as you like. Trust yourself to be able to see the day as a whole and to be aware of its significant moments or events. Sometimes when people receive this instruction, they think, I need to sit down and remember absolutely everything that happened today, and of course then you're up all night, or you immediately pass out, one or the other. So it's not like that. When you sit to review the day, the whole day is before you, and you can really have confidence that you will see what is most significant for you to see in that moment. So here are the things to see. See your actions of body, speech, and mind that have aligned with your highest purpose. The actions of body, speech, and mind that have been in harmony with your aspiration and intention. Acknowledge these actions of body, speech, and mind, and offer the love and merit for all. It's important. We often, when we're reviewing, we tend to focus on what didn't work out so well and, have ill feelings about, because it's kind of rankling in us, it's sort of poking at our minds. But it's very important to acknowledge where, in fact, intention and expression have, intention and manifestation have really been one. Then see the day's actions of body, speech, and mind that were not fully aligned with your intention and purpose. Acknowledge them also. And here's the repatterning step. Replay in your mind those moments, actions, and choices as unfolding in alignment. In other words, you replay the tape, but with it, the image being what you would now see to be correct and fully aligned with your purpose. And this clears the slate of mind for you to sleep in clarity and ease. It's, in a way, we can call it clearing the karmic slate. I've read and been told that the brain does not differentiate between an action actually taken and an action visualized or created in mind. And so if you replay the tape with the misaligned actions brought fully into alignment with your intention, that's what the brain is registering. That's why it's called repatterning. Yeah? Do you like that? It's very good. And it can happen in this really a split second. It doesn't have to take long. I mean, you could also spend, a week at it, but then you've lost 6 other days. Contemplate impermanence and death. That's the next part of the practice before sleeping. and you'll see none of this is extensive and time-consuming because you're sitting on your bed, you're ready to go to sleep, you're ready to just lie down and put your head on the pillow. So this is it's very beautiful, very important, very helpful, but it doesn't take a lot of time. It takes a matter of seconds or minutes to do this. Contemplate impermanence and death. Recognize in sleep and death the continuity of mind stream. Sleep state, death state, dream state, awake state, still the same mind stream. Offer brief, calm abiding or awareness practice. That could be just a few minutes. Yes? And the word offer there is significant. This isn't an onerous duty. This is something you're offering joyfully at the end of your day, coming back into that experience of just resting easily, abiding easily in mind that's relaxed and open. It's a wonderful way to go to sleep. Dedicate to the liberation of all beings the merit you've generated on this day. Rest in your natural state and sleep. That's it. This is refreshment for the mind. The morning and the evening practices. Very, very refreshing for the mind. That's the day. So we'll dedicate again the merit. I'll just do it briefly in Tibetan. Sunam di tumcha jipani tanenya pedanam pamchete chagachi vanon tripai sikpetso de dora varashu. Now go easily and happily into the night, and I'll see you in the morning. So 7 to 8 in the morning will be another meditation session, 7 to 8, but we won't gather in the temple. We'll just go in our own places, we'll meditate. And I invite you to do the calm abiding meditation if you like it, if you would like to. And if not, please do a silent practice that allows you to see the movements of your mind and to recognize this is mind. I'm seeing what's arising are arisings within the mind, and to cultivate that recognizing faculty, which is the luminosity quality of mind, that allows you to see your thoughts and emotions and images. This is, again, laying a groundwork for you, for us, for all of us. I do these practices too. It lays a ground, a path by which we become able to be awake in the dream of our daytime living, of our life as we're living it, as that's unspooling. It's not unspooling haphazardly. We become increasingly able to choose what we wish to energize and manifest, increasingly able to see the mind in its creation of the world. Quite wonderful. And it's our natural capacity. This is not something that comes to us from the Buddha Dharma or from any other tradition. It's our natural capacity. What comes to us from our beautiful spiritual traditions are the methods of training in it so that it becomes something we can turn to and work with and use creatively and profoundly beneficial for us in all of our relationships, all of our actions in the world, our creativity, our creative work, our expressive work, our healing work, whatever it is we do, our ability to see our own minds, our own mind stream as it's unspooling means that we're at choice. We're able to choose. That's power. This is spiritual empowerment. We're responsible. I'll talk more about that in the morning when we talk about karma. Okay? Thank you very much for being here today, everybody. The two warm bodies with me in the temple, and the many warm bodies and beautiful warm hearts that are out in the universe with whom we're connected in this miracle of a way that though we're not sitting in the same room, we're right here together. I just love this. It's really a wonderful learning. We speak these things, and now in this occasion when we can't be together in the same room, we get to live what it means to actually have one mind, to recognize our being together as true communion, that we're really in communion here together. It doesn't require bodies. Let's remember that when we die. Our relationships continue. They don't even have to be interrupted by a second. I might get distracted by some of the exciting things that happen as the body starts to die. It's very entertainingly shocking and alarming sometimes from what I've observed. And I don't remember really many experiences of my own deaths, some a little bit. We can get quite distracted, but we are practitioners, so we are training in how to not be distracted in those moments that we come to death, but to be awake to them, awake in them, so that we die consciously and generously for the benefit of all. I've been with more than one person who has died without the consciousness state appearing to change at all, and it's a great lesson in the continuity of consciousness. So, with great love, I say good night. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.